Are you constantly juggling tasks, feeling like you're on a never-ending treadmill of busyness? You're not alone. In a world where being busy is glorified, many of us wear our packed schedules like a badge of honor. But what if this hustle culture is actually draining our energy and creativity? In this video, we'll explore why so many of us feel the need to stay busy and how corporate culture is pushing us into this toxic cycle. Get ready to challenge the norm and reclaim your time. Hello there, and welcome back to Unstress Me, your channel for mental health and stress management. For those who are new to the channel, my name is Annie. I'm a psychologist and once upon a time, a corporate professional navigating the high-pressure world of business with tight deadlines and the constant demand to perform. After wrestling with my own mental health challenges for several years, I decided to specialize in stress management and resilience. Now, I'm on a mission to help others navigate their tough times, just as I learned to navigate mine. Today, we're diving into a topic that, honestly, hits close to home for me: the never-ending pursuit of busyness. You know the feeling, packing your schedule with back-to-back commitments, adding more tasks to your plate, and constantly shifting priorities to stay afloat. Sometimes it feels amazing, like you're unstoppable, achieving the impossible. Other times, it's completely exhausting, leaving you drained and collapsing on the couch the moment you get home. If you've ever felt buried under your to-do list or caught yourself saying, "I'm too busy," more often than you'd like, this video is for you. We live in a culture that glorifies busyness, wearing it like a badge of honor. But aren't you tired of all that? Do you want to understand why you are doing this and how you can stop? In the next few minutes, we'll explore why we're addicted to constant activity and how corporate culture has unknowingly turned busyness into a toxic trend. So, grab a cup of coffee, take a deep breath, and let's uncover the truth about busyness, and more importantly, how to break free from its grip. So, why do we keep ourselves so busy? Is it a need for control, an addiction to stress, or something deeper? Researchers suggest several key reasons why we willingly trap ourselves in this cycle. In many cultures, busyness is directly tied to self-worth. If you're overwhelmed with work, it must mean you're important, right? Busyness becomes a way to prove your value, not just to others, but often to yourself. It feels like validation that you matter. Studies have shown that individuals with a high need for external approval are more likely to overcommit, equating their self-esteem with how much they achieve. This creates a cycle where tasks become the primary source of identity. In some workplaces, being busy is seen as a status symbol, signaling that you're in high demand and indispensable. The busier you are, the more successful you appear, even if it's unsustainable. For some, busyness is a distraction. When you're constantly occupied, there's no time to reflect on difficult emotions like unhappiness, dissatisfaction, or anxiety. Tasks become a shield, protecting you from confronting deeper personal struggles. Psychologists note that avoidance behaviors, like excessive busyness, are coping mechanisms to escape discomfort or emotional pain. This keeps deeper issues unresolved and perpetuates emotional strain in a similar way like some addictions. The constant motion of busyness can give a false sense of progress, masking the reality that critical areas of life, like relationships or personal well-being, are being neglected. When you're always busy, your brain releases stress hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. These chemicals give you a temporary boost, a rush of energy that can feel addictive. Over time, your brain starts craving the high of doing something, even if it's unhealthy or unsustainable. Neuroscientists have found that prolonged exposure to stress rewires the brain, making it harder to relax. This leads to a dependency on the heightened state of alertness that busyness provides, even when it's harmful. Chronic stress also impairs the brain's ability to regulate emotions, making moments of stillness feel unsettling and even anxiety-inducing for those trapped in the busyness cycle. In today's hyper-competitive world, slowing down feels risky. You might worry that while you're resting, others are getting ahead. This fear drives many to stay perpetually busy, even if it's costing them their well-being. The phenomenon of social comparison often fuels this fear as people measure their success against others, particularly in high-pressure environments. This creates a race where the finish line is always moving. With the rise of social media, where curated images of productivity dominate, the fear of missing out, FOMO, exacerbates the pressure to constantly stay busy and visible. Eventually, you fear that you are not getting the promotion if you don't keep up. But there's something else at play here, the illusion of control. Busyness can make us feel like we're in charge of our lives, even when the opposite is true. When our schedules are packed, it gives us a sense of structure and purpose, even if it's superficial. Slowing down means confronting the uncertainty of life, and that can be scary. For some, staying busy isn't just a choice, it feels like a necessity. The alternative, slowing down, can feel uncomfortable or even terrifying. Why? Because busyness often masks deeper fears and insecurities. Slowing down might mean facing feelings of inadequacy, loneliness, or a lack of purpose. Now let's talk about how corporate culture plays a significant role in promoting this relentless busyness, often without even realizing it. In many organizations, busyness is mistaken for productivity, and the more you're seen rushing between tasks, the more you're perceived as dedicated and hardworking. Think about the messages we hear at work. "You're a rock star for pulling that all-nighter," or "Thanks for responding to that email at 2 a.m." These words might seem harmless, but they reinforce the idea that constant busyness is something to celebrate. Organizations often unknowingly create an environment where busyness thrives. Endless meetings, unrealistic workloads, and urgent emails piling up day and night leave employees with little choice but to stay in perpetual motion. And validation received with a small comment like, "I knew I can rely on you," because you responded to a message outside of your working hours. Even in companies that claim to value work-life balance, the culture can send a different message. If your manager never logs off, or your team praises those who work the longest hours, you feel pressured to follow suit, even if no one explicitly asks you to. Another common problem is how we measure success. Many companies prioritize metrics that focus on quantity, how many tasks you've completed, how quickly you've responded to emails, over the actual impact or quality of your work. This keeps employees busy, but not necessarily effective. And for knowledge workers, it's even counterproductive. By equating busyness with productivity, corporate cultures unintentionally foster burnout. Employees feel compelled to stay busy at all costs, sacrificing their creativity, mental health, and even personal lives to meet expectations. And when busyness becomes the norm, concerns about workload or burnout are often brushed aside. Employees are left feeling like they can't speak up, fearing they'll be labeled as less committed or incapable of handling pressure. But here's the good news. It doesn't have to be this way. Some companies are recognizing the problem and taking steps to shift the focus from busyness to true productivity. Policies like prioritizing deep work, limiting after-hours emails, or encouraging regular breaks can create healthier, more sustainable workplaces. It's time for companies to redefine what success looks like, prioritizing well-being and meaningful results over the endless hustle. Because in the end, busy doesn't always mean better. Breaking free from the busyness trap starts with small, intentional changes. Here are a few tips to help you reclaim your time, energy, and peace of mind. Set clear boundaries. Learn to say no without guilt. Not every task, meeting, or responsibility needs your immediate attention. Protect your time like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. Focus on priorities, not to-do lists. Shift your mindset from doing everything to doing what truly matters. Ask yourself, will this task bring me closer to my goals, or am I just staying busy for the sake of it? Embrace rest and stillness. Rest is productive. Schedule time to relax, reflect, and recharge. Whether it's taking a walk, meditating, or simply sitting with a cup of tea, make downtime a non-negotiable part of your routine. Taking breaks allows your brain and body to recharge so you can perform better in the long run. It's about giving yourself permission to slow down and live fully, rather than rushing from one thing to the next. If you are still not comfortable with this, think about some of the greatest minds in the human history, Greek philosophers, inventors, Nobel laureates. Looking into their biography, it was common and normal that they take a break from thinking for months and visit another country. So, taking a few hours or minutes should not disturb you. Reframe success. Success isn't about how busy you are, it's about how fulfilled and balanced you feel. Redefine what success looks like for you, without comparing yourself to others. Recognize that your worth isn't tied to how much you do. Validation should come from within, not from how packed your schedule is. When we step off the hamster wheel, we create space for creativity, connection, and clarity. So take that deep breath, embrace the quiet, and start prioritizing what truly matters. Thank you for joining me today on Unstress Me. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up, share it with someone who needs a reminder to slow down, and don't forget to subscribe for more tips on finding balance in a busy world.